Do you want to learn more about the best live streaming deals available on Amazon Prime Day to upgrade your live stream studio so that you can produce more professional live streams? Well, today on this episode, we are going to be talking about the best live streaming deals on Amazon happening today, right now. Just a couple of notes, by the way. This is also going out as a podcast as well. So this is episode 74 of the Launch Your Live podcast. But my name is Christian Karasiewicz, and I want to welcome you to an Amazon Prime Day special. Basically, this is an episode where myself and my co-host here, Marco Novo, we're going to be going over just some amazing deals available on Amazon Prime today. So I'm going to go and bring on Marco, and we're going to kick things off because, well, time is super important right now. And that's because, well, as Amazon is launching Prime Day, they've got some fantastic deals on things, but they're also a lot of items that are not necessarily available, in large quantities. So they've got some amazing price drops on things that I'm actually really excited about. So I'm going to go and bring on Marco, and we're going to kick things off. Marco,
Hello.
so good to see you.
Well, talking about this, first of all, thank you so much. Welcome everybody from Portugal. Greetings from Portugal. And I think we should highlight this in big highlighting the thing about scarcity, because there's this thing. I don't know if you had this situation, Christian, but for instance, yesterday and even today, I put some deals on my carousel, and once I started the live show, they were out of stock. So it's really crucial by these days to act fast and okay, let me think, let me see. Well, because otherwise you may lose the deal. So act fast. I think it's the
Excellent point. Yeah. I mean, and there's so many good deals, available. I got to say, and some of the items, some brands I've never heard of, but there's a lot of stuff that, if you're into live streaming, there's a lot of things you could be upgrading today. And the great thing is I kind of like to look at it like this. So for example, if I'm looking at a product and let's say it's, for example, there's some great monitors and I'm in the I want to buy a monitor, right? And let's say my budget was, $150, for example. And normally that's going to get you a decent monitor. It's not going to be a great monitor. It's not going to be a large monitor, right? However, some of these deals are just unbelievable. For example, if your budget was, $150 for a monitor, you may want to actually add a little bit of money to that budget. Like, for example, there's this great product. It's I'm going to go and highlight this in the carousel just to use it as an example. But there is a 49-inch monitor that's normally $1,500, and it's available as a Prime Day deal for $899. So you're saving $600. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy a couple of cheap monitors, for example, and if your budget was in the market, say your budget was, in that price range, maybe it was like $700 for a monitor. Because again, you're getting a huge monitor. This might be something you want to tap into to take advantage. The thing I can't stress enough, by the way, though, is, as Marco mentioned, you got to snap up these deals because there's some really great stuff. So Marco, where do we want to start, by the way, with some of these best live streaming deals on Amazon Prime?
Okay, you have highlighted this computer, and I think it's a good starting point, and it's also a good deal.
So when you're buying, so let's just talk about I'll let you bring this up, but as you're bringing this up, let's talk about live streaming in general. So when you are live streaming, you want to make sure that the brain of your, you are the brain of your live streaming business. However, you have to remember you need a good brain that powers everything. It's not just you. So you need to have a good computer for live streaming. And for something like this is where Marco, I would recommend everybody get a gaming laptop. If they can get a gaming laptop, that's going to afford you, a lot of power and something you can grow with. So in particular, for example, we've got this one here, and I want to highlight a couple of things. So for starters, this is a gaming laptop. It's got the NVIDIA GeForce graphics card. So it's got a dedicated graphics card. It's got 16 gigs of very fast RAM. It's got a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. For those who don't know what SSD is, basically means the hard drive doesn't have any parts. And so this is important because, as you're wanting to access things on the computer, for example, you want to bring up a graphic, things like that, because you have the parts sorry, because it's using an SSD drive, it's not having to like, it's not mechanical, meaning there's not moving parts to it. It's why your phone, for example, is so fast, because your phone has this super fast SSD drive in it now. So your phone has it. SSD drives are in laptops. This also has Wi-Fi 6, by the way. So, if you're somebody who's like, well, I've got this computer, I've been using it for like 10 years or 5 years even, you need to make sure you're constantly upgrading. So, for example, if you're going to be streaming, you need to have the fastest possible connection you can get on your laptop. And so this is going to be your Wi-Fi 6 here. And you are, by the way, also going to want to upgrade your router for this. But the thing I want to highlight about this is, well, the fact that, this is a Prime deal. It's $400 off. It's about 21% off savings, and it's all around a fantastic computer. And this also, by the way, has a fantastic display. It's got a 240 hertz display, which means it refreshes much faster. It's going to look super awesome to you, and as I mentioned, it's got that dedicated graphics card. So, again, this is something that you can grow with, as opposed to, buying the cheapest possible laptop you can get. So if you're going to do streaming, make sure you start with a good laptop. Now, Marco, is there anything you want to add about this laptop in particular, or do you want to, are there any alternatives maybe we should bring up?
I think one of the good things about laptops is that you can go live almost from everywhere, instead of, for instance, I use a desktop computer, and it has to it stays here all the time. So, for instance, if I want to go out and make, for instance, while I'm traveling or something, it's hard to do with this thing.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing to have a laptop. And also, I love this colored keyboard, which is also a nice thing. And for those of you who want to have this cool look as well, this could be nice.
Definitely. Yeah. And so the great thing about this laptop, I mean, this is where I'd start. So if I'm going to upgrade my live streams, I want to get a better, I want to be able to do things without like, oh, I got to close a whole bunch of stuff, or I open something, my fan kicks on, that's where I'd start. Now, I also highlighted another computer in here, by the way. So for those of you who want something that's also another good value here, by the way, this one's $1139. So it's a little bit less, actually. It's about $600 less. It's the LG Gram. And so I'm going to have Marco pull this one up as well. There's the LG Gram. And this is also a very good laptop, by the way. And a couple of things you're going to note here. So this has that 16 gigs of RAM. It's got a super sharp display. It's not heavy. It's got a great battery. It's also got, though, a lot less memory. So you're looking at 256 gigs for hard drive space, meaning you can store a fair amount, but you're going to have to move things to like an external hard drive if you want to have like storage space and enough space for the operating system to be able to run as well. So very good computer, though. Also, I mean, this is a portable machine, as Marco mentioned. So you do kind of have to look at it like this. If you are currently, if you're interested in, by the way, I think, does that say it's unavailable? That's crazy, because it literally just went out of stock. So that's how fast, by the way, that's how fast these things are going. I mean, we literally I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's in stock, and now it's not in stock.
Yeah, it happens.
But it's a very good computer as well. So it's the LG Gram, if you're interested in checking that one out. But that's what I would recommend, actually, for a laptop. If I'm gonna be like, I need the power, for example, to be at a desk, but I want to travel around with it, I'd look at either the LG Gram or going back to that other gaming laptop. Definitely start there. So that's going to be your first part of your live streaming journey. You want to have a good brain, good internals to power your live streams. Okay. Absolutely. So now, for those of you, though, I mean, we hear a lot of people and they're like, well, hey, I need more real estate on screen, right, Marco?
Yes.
So what I like to get, for me personally, if I'm doing live streaming, I like to have one of these. And let me pull this up, because this is a really cool product. It's a 15-inch portable monitor. And, I'm going to let Marco also pull that one up as well. So there's this portable monitor, and what it basically does is it's almost like the size of a tablet, except it's just a monitor. And so you pull this, you basically attach this to your computer, and now you can have an extended desktop. And is this one in stock, Marco? I think it is, right?
Yes. This one is available. At least for now.
And it was about $120. Let me see if it's still 120. Yeah, it's $121 actually. So I don't know. I think you're getting different pricing. You didn't getting different pricing, Marco?
Yeah, because my Prime subscription, it's on the Spanish Amazon, so
Okay.
it only shows if I had the Prime subscription as well on the Amazon.com.
Okay, well, let me do this. Let me actually share my screen here, and so this way you all can see this. And by the way, I love this product. I use this also with an ATEM Mini, but I'm going to show you guys this. So let me go ahead and take yours down, Marco, and I'm going to pull
Okay.
mine up so people can see this. So this is the product. It's it's this one. It's $121, and it's first off, it's on sale, so it's about 40% off. If you are a Prime member, you're going to get $59 off as well. So you're not just getting $20 off, you're getting $59 off if you're a Prime member. And it's this 15.6-inch portable monitor. And it plugs in via USB. So, like, for example, you could even connect your phone to this thing. So if you want to, watch on the big screen, you got that. It has a portable case with it as well. So kind of like, a cover that doubles as a stand. It's got dual speakers. It's got a USB power supply on it. It also has a USB-C power port. It also has mini HDMI as well. So this is a fantastic little product. I like to keep these when I am, if I want to extend my desktop and I'm like, well, hey, I want something that's sort of portable. I don't have to actually take a full monitor with me. I can literally just pack this up with my laptop, take it with me, and now I can extend my laptop display, or I can use it for my phone, or anything like that. So fantastic product. This is like I said, $121. It is on a Prime Day special as well, so you got to make sure you take advantage of that one. And this product, I mean, I don't see it go on sale much. Maybe you'll get like $10 off, but the fact you're getting about $80 off here, well worth it. For those of you who want to extend your live stream display.
Absolutely.
Now, and like I said, I love this product. This is one of my favorite things because, if I'm traveling around and I'm doing some live streaming, I want to make sure I have this handy. Okay, Marco, where do we go next? So so I've got my laptop, I've got my extended monitor. If I'm somebody who wants that big display, what should I look at?
Well, you should have it. Let me see. Maybe talk a little bit about lights as well, because there's something.
Actually, let's cover monitors first. Are there any good monitors?
Okay.
Like if I want to get a big screen, what should I get?
Well, you have here this Spectre curved 49 inches.
Yeah, so you got the Scepter. Yeah, we got the Scepter 49-inch display. Yeah. Let me go ahead and pull that one up. Actually, let me know if you have that pulled up and we can pull that up.
Okay. There you go. It's unavailable as well.
Is it? Can't be. It's literally. Okay, well, let me find one that's available. This is crazy how everything is. See, as we mentioned, everything is going out of stock.
Yeah. Everything is flying.
So let me find another good product, actually. So let's go with, well, you know what? For people that want, you want a decent, a good size monitor, but you don't want to spend a ton of money. I'd probably recommend getting something like this. This is going to be, it's about an $80 savings. Here, let me actually pull this up. So it's a Scepter 32-inch curved gaming monitor. It's going to save you about $80. So it's going to save you about 21% on your monitor. This is going to give you, again, I mean, this is a 32-inch monitor. There are larger ones as well. So you can pair two of these next to one another. This is 240 hertz as well. So it's going to be super fast refresh rate. So, what do you think about this one, Marco? Do you like this, or do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, I think these monitors are, and it's important when we talk about live streaming to have a good monitor and to have a big one, so you can have, for instance, and there's this struggle, and also, and I like to talk about this when I do my solo shows, is you should have in mind when you do often live streaming is that one of the other things you will need to do is to to edit videos. Okay, so it's important to have a big screen so you can make easier the editing task. Okay, and having these curved monitors will allow to have more surface without using too much room, because they don't take too much room in your desk. So that's why I like this curved screens as well.
Definitely, yeah. And so, I'd recommend, I mean, if you're getting a monitor, get as much monitor as you can afford and that you can put on your desk. Don't forget, by the way, you can put monitors, there's lots of ways you can put monitors. So for example, you can just stick them on the stand that they come on. You can buy arms, by the way, that'll allow you to mount the monitor higher up. So you can raise it up, raise it down. Again, I mean, the trade-offs here are this. Okay. So if you buy this 32-inch monitor, you maybe want two, for example. Okay. So you put those next to one another. Again, there's a very thin bezel. Some people, though, they like to have that full monitor that goes all the way across their desk. So, you kind of have to, it's a trade-off between, desk real estate and, what your office setup's like. So if you have the space for it, I mean, it's always best to put them on an arm so that they're mounted up and then kind of away from you. But I really like, making sure I have enough real estate. I mean, for example, if you're trying to do live streaming, you're going to have a lot of stuff open. So make sure, for example, that you're not like, a lot of people, they're like, well, how do I look at the presentation and how do I actually like look at my streaming dashboard, for example, and if they're doing it on if you're doing it on a small laptop, you got to have, you need more space. So make sure you go and check that out. And as Marco mentioned, I mean, it's something that it's literally like we just added it and, it's already out of stock, which is pretty crazy. So, okay. So that's important in terms of like giving yourself some extra space on your desk, right? The next thing that I want to make sure we touch on, by the way, is audio. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up. Marco, let's bring up the Blue Yeti mic that we have going on here. So, if you're looking for a good quality mic to get started, there is the Blue Yeti product. The Blue Yeti looks just like this, by the way. And I think this is still on Prime deals, right? I think so, right?
Yeah,
So
you save $20.
yeah, so there's
15%.
is it $20 actually? I think it was $20. Yeah. So there is
Yeah,
the Blue Yeti on Prime on a Prime deal, and definitely make sure you take advantage of this if you need new audio for your live streams. So for example, audio is the most important part of your live streams. So make sure you invest in a good microphone, and that's where I check out the Blue Yeti. And this should be about $99, by the way. So it's going to save you a good bit of money there. For those of you, by the way, who want an alternative, Marco, let's pull up the, I think it's the Wavelink. So Elgato Wavelink as well should also be on there. Let me just double check.
this one.
Yeah, it should be the Wavelink 3. Yeah. And this, by the way, is a very good product. This
Absolutely.
is $190 normally. It's $150 as a Prime deal. And then what I want to make sure we highlight here is the fact that this is a kit. So it's also coming with the pop filter, so it can remove those plosives. But then the other thing that I really love about this product is the fact that, for those of you who want to run a live stream, and let's say you want to bring some music into your live streams, you want to enhance your live streams, this product includes software with this particular microphone that will allow you to basically route your audio from, for example, let's say you want to play music. So it includes software to be able to route the audio together with your live stream. So you can play background music, things like that.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, I can play this video, because in this video they show how you can do that.
Yeah, sure. Let's go and do that. And do me a favor. Yeah. Check our private chat, by the way, Marco.
Yeah.
So this is the Wavelink 3, and it's a very good product. It actually is in stock, which is surprising. So I'm going to let Marco go ahead and play that, and we'll check that out. So love this mic. Again, I mean, it's great. It's a USB mic, but this is a very good product. We've used it on a few live streams before, and as you can see, it's super small. It goes on your desk. You know, it includes the pop filter, as I mentioned, but that key thing is it's got that software built in. That software is going to save you so much in terms of being able to route the audio. Normally people have to pay for the mic and then they have to turn around and pay for the software in addition. And fortunately, this software is actually, I mean, it's included, which is pretty awesome. So, definitely can't stress it enough. Check out the Elgato Wavelink 3 for your live streams. This is a fantastic product. And again, as I mentioned, it's also an Amazon Prime Day deal. So, if you're somebody who, really wants to like if you've been in the market for upgrading your mic, the Blue Yeti is a good product, but this I think is actually a better product. And the fact that it includes that software. So that's, to me, that is a win-win situation there. If you're going to get, if you're looking to improve your audio for your live streams. By the way, I did drop that in the carousel as well. Let me actually make sure it's in here. Yep, there we go. It's in the carousel. So then this way, if you're interested in checking out the Wavelink 3, go and check this out. I mean, it's just an all-around awesome microphone, and the value is definitely there. I mean, okay, so the next thing I want to do, Marco, is now let's see if we got your audio fixed there. So next thing I want to do is I want to talk about headphones. And I want to talk about headphones because there are some fantastic deals on in-ear monitors. And an in-ear monitor is basically, by the way, I'm going to highlight the Elgato Wavelink here in the carousel for you guys. Okay, Marco. So let's go and pull up that the Shure product, by the way, that we have in our carousel here.
Okay.
So for those of you who want, you want to make sure you can hear on your live streams. You want to make sure that you are wearing headphones. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. There's some really good products that you should definitely check out. So Marco, you and I are wearing I've got in-ear monitors. So I've got the ones I'm showing there. I mean, they go in my ear, and then that way they have this low profile look. How about you? What kind of headphones are you wearing?
Well, I have one too, a pair. And as I mentioned last week, one of the things I do usually is I bought a pair because one stays here and the other one I use it everywhere. But yes, I like what you mentioned, that they look really low profile, really neat. And for me, this is something that it's good as well.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome actually, because most of the time what'll end up happening is we'll end up we'll be doing live stream and people will wonder, they're like, well, they'll say like, hey, you know what? I'm getting feedback on my live streams. And, and we're like, well, are you wearing headphones? And they're like, no. They're like, but well, you're not wearing headphones either, right? And we're like, well, yeah, actually we are. So there we go. And here's the thing. So, you can go and buy, you can use, if you're starting out live stream, you can use the headphones that come with your smartphones. You can use these headphones. However, they're not going to sound very good on the other end. Meaning if I'm using it as a microphone, for example, they're great to get started. I can hear things, but the audio quality is going to be typically very poor. And this also holds true, by the way, for, if you're using Apple AirPods or any Bluetooth headphones, they're all going to typically have, this, they're going to sound good to you, but if you listen to your actual broadcast, they're not going to sound good at all. So what we like to do is always recommend hardwiring with wired headphones. So no wireless, wearing something such as these. And I love these. These are the Ionic 215 wired sound isolating buds. And they're fantastic. And great. That's crazy. So they're out of stock now. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. Are any of them in stock, Marco? See if there's any other ones in stock there, because they're showing they're in stock.
Okay, let me see.
I mean, by the way, this was a great deal. I mean,
I think this one, it is in stock. Yes.
Okay. So these are $99, by the way. So if you want these are a very good product. They're $99. They're normally about $125. And then I am going to highlight another pair, by the way. I'm going to drop these in the, I'm going to drop them here in our carousel. And these are also, Marco, let's bring up those Shure Aonic 215s. These are actually a wireless one, but they're actually really, really, really good. So if you do need something like that, can you pull up the Aonics?
It's okay.
So they're the Aonic 215s. So if you scroll down, actually, I just added them to the stream actually. So you should see the Aonic 215s. Those are the wireless. Those are the wired ones. There is a wireless model as well for those of you looking to do live streams. So let me see if I can highlight that for you.
It should be at the end of the carousel. There you go.
So for those, granted, we always like to recommend. Oh, they're unavailable. Or hold on. You know what? Maybe those are unavailable to you, actually. Yeah, those are unavailable to Marco, actually. So probably your location, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can show this.
Okay.
So these are the Aonic 215s that Marco has pulled up. I'm going to show you what they are on Amazon Prime Day. So these are the 215s. And, what's really great about these, by the way, is that these are, so the way I would use these is if I'm doing any sort of live production, like live stream production, what I usually do is I wear two pairs of headphones. I wear one in one ear. And so I wear a wired pair in one ear, and then I will have a wired model, a wireless one in my other ear. And, for something like this, I mean, this is a great value, by the way. These are $300 normally. They're on Prime Day as a deal, 54% off, $139. And that applies to any color. So they've got black, they've got blue, they've got clear, and they've got white. Personally, I kind of like the clear ones, I think, because, they go in your ear and then people don't really see them sticking out. For example, they tend to, match things a little bit better. But I would definitely check these out. And so the way I'm going to use these is this. So I'm going to wear one in one ear, and then so this is going to be the wired one, maybe in this ear. And then I'm going to run the other one separately. So if this was wireless like this, I put one here, and then I would be on a phone call on, for example, a phone, talking to my other producers if we're remote. And then I'm over here able to actually listen to the live stream and what's going on. So I'm able to balance, what's going on so that we can make sure we're all in sync with everything. So I really, really, really like that product in terms of, using them for live streaming. Now, Marco, where do we want to what else should people check out? I mean, here on Amazon Prime Day deals.
Okay, let's see what else we have here. Well, lights could be a nice.
Okay, and let's talk about lights. Okay, so we talked about, and by the way, we've got a couple of other little intangible items as well. But first talking about like your computer and your microphone and your headphones and extending your monitor or giving yourself a bigger monitor. So now let's talk about lights, Marco. What kind of lights do you recommend for live streaming? Are there any good ones you want to highlight?
Okay, we have this. Okay, we can start by the beginning, this light ring. Okay, it's a good way to start, in my opinion.
Yeah, sure. Which light ring do you want to check out?
The 18-inch white LED ring.
So it's like $71, right?
Yes.
Is it in stock? Hopefully it's in stock.
On my side, it's not.
Okay, let me just double check, actually.
Check there, please.
So it looks like I'm going to be doing everything here today. By the way, we got a comment here. Somebody's asking about the best monitor for under $350. I think, Marco, are you seeing that?
Yes.
You have any recommendations?
Okay, I think we have some.
We actually have a few in the carousel, I think. So let me go ahead and pull up this monitor. So this is a good ring light set, by the way. So this is a Prime Day deal. This is actually a pretty good deal, a very good deal, actually, because, well, again, I mean, the bigger the ring light, the more light that it can cast down on your live streams and help light your scene.
Absolutely.
So this is a great Prime Day deal, by the way. This is the newer 18-inch LED ring light. This is actually what I'm using right now. So as you can see, I've got like really good lighting here. Basically I have this big 18-inch newer ring light. It has, for example, it comes with a stand. It comes with your mounts, things like that you need to be able to mount. If you want to put a smartphone on it or you want to mount a camera, you can put the camera right there in the light source, so it's getting enough light before it's capturing all your video. But this is a very good deal. It's this one's $109. There's another one in the carousel as well, but this one's $109. This one has $30 basically in Amazon Prime savings, and there's an extra $10 off coupon. So don't miss out on this, guys. This $10 additional coupon. All you gotta do is clip it. By the way, there's a clip option that'll be here, and that'll save you another $10. So it'll be $109. Fantastic light source for your live streams. Okay, Marco. Let me let you pull up some. I'm gonna let you pull up the next. What do you think the next product is?
I think we should talk about this. The other LED panels for Neewer.
Okay.
Because they look pretty good for me.
Yeah, the 90 watt desk mounted ones, right?
Yes, but unavailable on my side as well.
So these are available, by the way. They're $154. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. So Marco is broadcasting from, I think, Spain, right?
Portugal.
Or Portugal. Okay. So these are the newer 90 watt desk mount LED lights. These, by the way, are normally $229. And let me go ahead and pull my screen back up. So these are the newer. Actually, where'd it go? Let me actually pull that up, Marco. Okay, so these are the newer 90 watt desk mount LEDs, and this is what they're going to look like. So let me go ahead and undo that for you guys. So I'm going to show you guys these. So these are the newer lights, and these, by the way, are going to compare to the Elgato key lights. They basically mount to your desk. And, and they're super thin. They have, temperature controls, for example, here. So you can change whether the light's yellow or white. Basically you can change the degree. They also come with an arm that clamps to your desk, as you can see here. So they clamp right to your desk. And then you can angle them if you need to. So that way you can cast out enough light. There's also a diffuser that's built in. As I mentioned, they go from warm to cool. So more yellow to white, for example, and super portable. And you basically get two of these. You'd angle them, for example, one on the left, one on the right to fill that space. And they're fantastic, as you can see, for live streaming here. So this is the newer 90 watt desk mount LED light C-clamp stand kit. And it also has a wireless remote, by the way, too. And that's going to help you. So if you get these and you want to change the color, you don't have to actually get up to do all this. You literally can just do it all right from with the remote. So I like these a lot for live streaming. They're fantastic products. I mean, just given the amount of light they put out and just the overall quality. I mean, we love newer products. So not much more I can say there. I mean, but you're getting a really good product. So Marco, did you have a chance to look at? I know we had somebody asking the best 32-inch or large monitor under 350.
I'm
Do you have any ideas?
I'm on it. I've seen this LG. It's a little bit above the price, but it's a very good monitor. Let me share with you.
Yeah, just tell me what the name is and I'll pull it up. Or you
LG.
You pull it up and I'll pull it up here.
Okay, I'm gonna send it through the private chat.
Yeah, just tell me what it is. Just tell me the name and I'll pull it up.
LG 27 UN 80.
Here, actually, you've got it right here, right? So this is, let's see what we got here.
Yes.
The LG Ultrafine. Yes. This is a very good monitor, actually.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than the budget, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah. So what's the price of this?
It's usually 450.
So it's usually 450, yeah. And what's the screen size, by the way?
27 inches.
So it's 27. Yeah. So I think one thing you got to remember, by the way, with these monitors, everyone. So this one's about 16% off. But one thing you got to make sure you remember, So even though this is a smaller monitor size, it's 27. What's important here is the panel. It's the quality of the panel that you're getting. So you're not getting a junk panel. And I'm not to say like all the panels are like the cheap ones are like, really good quality, but this is a really good quality display. Has VESA mounting as well. It's got USB-C. It's got virtually borderless display as well. It's height adjustable as well. That's another thing that I like about monitors like this. So it's not. So a lot of times what people do is they'll get one of these monitors and they'll put it on their desk. And then here's what happens. So you're sitting up here and your monitor, maybe it only goes down to here. And so the thing is, then you got to get a stand or you got to get a bunch of books to bring it up to eye level, right? Because if you're constantly looking down on your monitor, it's not good for the neck, things like that. And so this one actually does have the ability to raise it up, to swivel left and right and whatnot. So, and it's got the tilt as well, the tilt adjustment. So I like that monitor actually. Going back to, let me see who the user was, back to Bo in the comments. I liked this LG monitor. I realize it's a little bit slightly over your budget, but it does save you, you're already getting a very nice deal. You're getting about $70 in savings on that. So I would definitely go and check that one out, Bo. So that's the LG 27 Ultra Fine UHD display, by the way. It's an IPS panel as well. So it's a very, very, very good quality monitor for the price. Okay, so Marco, what other things do I need to consider when I'm live streaming? What else should I check out on Amazon Prime Day deals?
Okay. Okay, we have these backgrounds for virtual.
Okay, so if people want to improve their backdrops. So if you want to improve your background, by the way, you can go with like kind of what Marco's got going on here. So I'm gonna look it up. He's got a physical background there, and in my case, I'm using a virtual background. Virtual. Sorry, I'm using a vinyl background. And so, I don't have a green screen. I didn't put a green screen up because, a lot of times, green screens are hard to put up and get lighted properly for your live streams. And so, for something like this, if you are interested in doing the green screen process, more power to you. You are going to need, obviously, you're going to need some of those lights. We mentioned the newer lights, but you're also going to want to check out, make sure you get a good green screen. And so one of the challenges you often run into when you buy a green screen is that a green screen typically is just going to be green fabric that, you're going to have to, like, for example, if you just buy a green screen kit, it's going to be a big piece of green fabric. It's going to be bigger than like your wall. So you're going to have to stretch it, get it nice and tight, right? Because otherwise you're going to have wrinkles and it's going to be hard to key out you and the background. So for something like that, that's where I really, really, really highly recommend something like this. This is the newer green screen product here. And this is what I like about this is that it collapses.
Yeah.
So this literally, and by the way, this isn't stock. It's out of stock in Portugal, but it's $150 and it's normally about $186. Now, this one basically, it collapses. So this one basically collapses to where then if you're like, well, hey, I don't have a ton of place to shoot, or I don't have a ton of storage, or, my office isn't very big, things like that. This is great for collapsing it. And then you can put it out of the way and then you can bring it back up if you need to. And it's always going to maintain that good, consistent green quality because of the fact that, it's got the scissor mount behind the back of it. So it's always going to give you a good quality green screen to put behind you. And, from a pricing standpoint, I mean, as I mentioned, $150. And what's great about this is you can put it anywhere. So for example, if you want to shoot outside, you can, if you bought just the regular green screen kit, you got to figure out, well, how do I tighten this enough versus with something like this, you literally just pull it up, get yourself in front of the green screen and then shoot. So can't recommend this one enough. So for those of you who want, if you're like, well, hey, I need something that's a little bit different. Marco, let's switch over to the newer chroma key backdrop. And, this newer chroma key backdrop, by the way, is, it's a little bit different. So for something like this, again, this is on Prime Day as a Prime Day deal. It's, how much is this, Marco? $26.
Yes, 26.
Normally 40 something, 60, 50 something dollars actually. So it's 54%
almost
off.
56.
Yeah. And this is a good quality product. This is a very good product. And the way this one works, so for example, you can fold this up. You can also just mount this to the back of your wall. Like it just takes one pin, or let's go back to the other picture actually. So, people can basically collapse this. However, you can also mount it to a stand, as you can see here, and then that way you can film in front of it, or you can simply just attach it to a wall, and you've got a nice flat green screen to work with, or blue screen if you want that as well. So it's a really good product from Newer, and just given the price, I'm just amazed at the price. I mean, if I did want to have a green screen or I wanted to have a blue screen to chroma key or remove that backdrop, this is what I would get.
Absolutely.
Now, we have one other green screen product we want to talk about, and it's this. I don't know how I don't really know what to say about this one, Marco. It's the fact that, for people that, you don't have a wall to work with, for example, you want to be in your office chair and you want to key yourself out, you should check out the green screen chair that we have here. And this literally, it attaches to the top of your chair. This is, by the way, about $30 on Prime Day. So it's $30. It's normally about 37. So you're not saving a huge amount, but you're saving a good amount. And the way this works is you literally just put it on the top of your chair, and now you have an instant green screen. Now, what's cool about this one is you see how it attaches to the top, almost like a shower cap. So, when you attach this one to the top of the chair, what's great about it is it goes over like a shower cap. So that actually, for example, like on my chair, I have this headrest. And so it eliminates that part in the shot. So then that way I put it where I want it. And then it basically makes the green screen behind me. And then it's actually nice and tight as well. So as you can see, I'm getting some shadow in my background right now. It's because I'm too far from the light source. So I need to move forward. But this is another good product as well. If you're somebody who, you want to be able to, chroma key out the background, use the green screen, definitely check this out. And as I mentioned, I mean, a lot of times here's the thing. Green screens, a lot of times you're going to use them sparingly. But what you got to remember for something like this is that you're saving a bunch of money actually on this. So I actually wouldn't mind getting this, I save like, 30, 40%, for example, on this. And this way I can at least have it. I'm not breaking the bank. So if I don't use it a lot, no big deal. So
Yeah.
I really like those if I'm going to do any green screen work.
And it's foldable as well. Okay, so you can, at the end, you can fold it and store it in the corner of the room.
Yep. No, exactly. And that's a great thing about these collapsible green screens is that, if you're doing live streaming and, you want to use a green screen, people buy that kit that comes with, the soft boxes and the green fabric. But the problem is that I got one as well, it's sitting in a box, you put it up on the wall. And the problem is that, okay, well, if I need to undo it, I have to put it back up and then I have to remove all the wrinkles because otherwise it won't key out properly. However, if you get one of these collapsible green screens or one of the ones that just, use a push pin and stick it to the wall, you're going to be able to, quickly get a good quality green screen there with minimal work. So I love that product. Now, is there anything else we want to highlight, Marco, from like in terms of other like maybe intangible items that I should check out for my live streams? And we've talked about computers, we talked about lights, talked about microphones.
Okay, let me check the carousel.
So while Marco's doing that, I'm going to pull up one of my other favorite products. So if we get a lot of people asking about, they want to have a switcher, a camera switcher. And I have this one here in the cart. It's called the Feel World Live Pro L1 multi-camera switcher. And this is normally this is about a $300 product, by the way. It's on as a Prime Day deal for $239. So again, disregard the pricing you're seeing on Marco's end. I think it's $299. Yeah, so this is a Prime Day deal. Again, you do need to be an Amazon Prime customer. So it's $239 as a Prime Day deal. And this is going to give you a camera switcher. So it's got 4 HDMI inputs and it's going to have, it's got an LCD screen as well. And the LCD screen is there because basically what it does is it allows you to queue up what the next shot's going to be. So you can see what the shot is going to be, and then you can push it live. So this is, and as you can see, it's a super small product. it goes right on your desk. You pretty much just, plug your HDMI cameras into it, and then you get a powerful camera switcher. So what do you think about this, in Marco, in terms of like live streaming?
Yeah, it's very useful. One of the things that live streaming could be, it's attention catcher and distracting, because there are too many buttons that you need to hit to change a scene, to do something. So having this kind of devices, it's very useful. I love, for instance, I bought a Stream Deck, and I felt in love with the device because it saves me a lot of time, and it helped me to make better live streaming.
Definitely, yeah. And so what I want to do real quick here is, so I want to actually pull up, I want to show you guys this because this is super important that you pay attention to this. So for those of you wanting to get something like the Feel World Live Pro, here's what I want to make sure you do. So over on Amazon, just pay attention to this. So I just looked up the Feel World Live Pro, and I've got this in the carousel, by the way. I got the right one you need to be getting. So as you can see here, there are actually 3 different models. There's actually more than these that show up. And this one's $300, this one's $270. For example, this one's $280. But as I mentioned, there's a $240 one here. This, by the way, is just a monitor. So, there is a $240 one here. So I did highlight in the carousel, this one in the carousel, and it's going to save you quite a bit of money, $60. $60 could buy you, you could get the Feel World Live Pro. You could then take that $60 and put it towards a better quality monitor. You could put it towards, for example, buying, one of the light systems, buying the green screen kit. I mean, you're basically kitting yourself out for your live streams and making them look more professional. So make sure, if you're going to get this product, that you check out the ones that are in the search here. In this case, just get the one I recommended, because as you can see, there's one for $239, but there's other ones that are $270. So you're not going to save as much. So as I mentioned, that's the Feel World Live Pro. And as you can see here, it's got quite a bit of functionality. So basically, these buttons, so the 1, 2, 3, 4 are your cameras. So you plug your cameras into the back of this thing, and then once you plug them into the back, then all you have to do is you can push your 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., and that's going to switch between your camera sources. So this way, like for example, I know Marco, you've got some camera like sources. So can you kind of demo what it looks like when you switch cameras?
Okay, let me change this.
So
Okay,
for
now,
example, if let's say you want to have different shots like this. So Marco's got a front shot, he's got a side view, and then he's
and
got a third one, right? So
desk.
granted, he's using a Stream Deck to switch, but you can switch with the Feel World Live Pro. And then you can also transition between these shots as well. So it's not just, oh, it's a hard cut. You can actually do switching, very, very, very easily. So I just want to highlight a couple things. So as you can see, you've got volume, so you can control the camera volume. You can obviously switch between your cameras here with inputs 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also have at this point, a small display here that's going to show you what your current feed is and what your other cameras are. So this way, you know exactly which one you want to switch to. We've got different function button here to be able to switch between things. And then if you want to do a fade or something between them, you can use this T-bar, and you simply just drag it, across. And as you move it, it creates that fade or that transition for you. So very, very, very good product. And there's also, by the way, 14 transition effects built in. So if you want to do some different things, this is very useful. And I want to highlight just another thing here. Remember how I mentioned earlier, we mentioned the 15-inch screen here that you can get for your live streams. So we mentioned, for example, this portable monitor that was $120. Look at this setup here. So this is somebody's typical live streaming setup. So here's the laptop. And instead of just working on this laptop for everything, what they basically have done now is they have the Feel World plugged in, and then it's running to a second screen. This could be that 15-inch monitor, and you could have one output going here. So as you can see what all the heads up displays are. So for example, you have the preview here on the left. On the right is the program view, meaning this is the live shot that goes out. And then along the bottom, you have all your cameras. So this way, somebody can easily see what they're switching between. And then this is obviously what your live stream would look like. So it's a very, very, very good product for this price. And as I mentioned, I mean, it's normally $300. It's on sale for $239. Let me actually play this. So This is the product. Let me get you through a couple of this. So as you can see, I mean, you've got, a monitor where it's showing what the guy looks like, but he's got this display and he's able to quickly switch between these different cameras using the FeelWorld Live Pro multi-camera video switcher. So for those of you looking to switch your cameras, very, very, very good product, worth checking out. Okay, Marco, what other cool accessories? I'm gonna say cool. What if I'm gonna do live stream? What else should I be checking out?
Well, this is something important as well, the storage, because
storage is key. What kind of storage are we talking about? Are we talking about like, SD cards? Are we talking about hard drives? What are we talking about?
We can talk about this SanDisk 2 terabytes extreme portable SSD.
Yes. Actually, you know what? Before we go to that, let's do this. Let's pull up that GoPro deal, actually.
Okay.
Let's pull up the GoPro deal. And the reason I want to pull this up is because, well, for those of you who are like, well, hey, I like that switcher you guys were just talking about. However, you're like, well, I want to add some extra cameras. An easy, great way to do this is to get something like this. This is the GoPro Hero 8. And this is a whole set, by the way. So it's going to give you the camera. It's got the chesty, which is their mount here for your chest. It's also got, it comes with, a tripod that you can put the GoPro on. Actually, sorry, that's not the chesty. I think that's the one that actually goes on your head, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
It goes on your head. It includes, I think there's also an extra battery in here as well. So you're saving about $70 on this. Is the GoPro Hero 8, by the way. And it's a very good price. It also includes an SD card. So it includes 32 gigs of SD card space. This is a very good product, by the way, if you want to set up an additional camera. So basically you can hook this into that switcher for, an extra camera. You could get a couple of these actually, if you want to, and the great thing about this is, it's going to give you the ability to not just use this camera in your office, but the great thing is it's an action camera, meaning you can take it around with you. You could take it in the water, for example, if you go to the beach or you go on vacations, or, maybe you're somebody who wants to, you want to go scuba diving, I think. So I think this works for scuba diving. It works for biking, so you can also be streaming what all you have here. So I really like this product quite a bit. Again, I mean, it's the GoPro. It's been around for quite a while. So Hero 8, meaning this is the 8th version of the GoPro. So very, very, very good product. And as you can see, I mean, look at how small this thing is compared to, the size of a paperclip. So that's the Hero 8. And there is a Hero 9, by the way, too, at the bottom there. If you scroll down the bottom, Marco. So there's the Hero 9 as well. There's a comparison chart, and that Hero 9, does add a couple of things like, let's see, it adds some, horizon leveling. So if you want to automatically align to the horizon, you can get that. There's a feature called Hindsight that they built in. It's got scheduled capture, meaning you could set it to capture different things at different times. And then the quality, I mean, it does 4K at 60 hertz versus the Hero 9, which does 5K at 30. 30 frames a second. So definitely something worth checking out. I mean, and they're both very, very, very good products, but it does come with the memory card as well, but not a huge memory card. So speaking of memory cards, Marco, let's do this. Let's move over to, another thing that if you're live streaming, you need to definitely make sure you have enough of. It's storage space. And I can't stress this enough. You should definitely go and check out the SanDisk micro SD card deals that they've got going on. I mean, these deals are pretty amazing. This is a 256 gigabyte extreme micro SD card. And, this is going to save you, Marco. It's a little expensive there for you. It looks like there's $22 in shipping.
Forget about shipping.
You know what?
Yes. It's a struggle. I have to order everything from Spain. It's as I am a Prime user, I don't pay shipping.
So for those of you, if you're watching in the States, by the way, this product is $35 for 256 gigs of storage. Now, the thing I want to highlight here is that you want to make sure you get a good quality memory card. Don't cheap out on memory cards. You can buy the cheap ones for a whole lot less, But the thing is that a lot of times they're going to fail. And then another thing that's super important here is the read speed. So for example, this is 160 megabits per second, or megabytes per second, by the way. So you want to make sure that when you buy a memory card for your cameras, for your, for example, if you're using like a Rodecaster Pro, you can plug this into that as well. You want to have enough storage space. And this is extremely important that you get the right product. So this is going to be $34, by the way. So it's super fast. It's not going to, it's not going to conk out on you like a lot of the cheap products are going to do. So that is the SanDisk 256 gig card. Now, what's really nice about this, by the way, too, is so there's the, there's the, there are actually much larger storage space sizes, by the way. So if you're somebody who needs additional space, let's pull up that 512, Marco. So if you want to spend another 30 something dollars, you can get a 512 gigabyte micro SD card slot, or you can get the 1 terabyte storage for $174. So you could start out at the 256. And if you're like, hey, you know what? I need more space, get yourself a 1 terabyte. Again, that's going to be 4 times the size of the 256. Granted, you can always get more of the smaller cards. Like 256 is a pretty good amount of storage. But, if you need more and you don't always want to be changing out cards, things like that, get yourself a 1 terabyte. But I'd also recommend this for live streaming, buy 2 cards. So have a production card and then have an additional backup, because micro SD cards, over time they do fail. Sometimes people, they mess up the prongs or things like that on them, and then they can't be read anymore. So definitely, though, make sure you get 2, and they're super cheap. I mean, at 30 something dollars a piece, for 256, I mean, that's a lot of storage. So
absolutely.
Okay. So speaking of storage, let's talk about hard drives, by the way, Marco. So we talked about computers earlier. Go ahead and let me know what you want to bring up. I got a couple of products here.
Okay, we can talk. I think we have another SanDisk there. Let me see. Okay, this. Let me check.
So for those of you, by the way, you buy a computer, you want to buy, for computers, you can't change the storage. So for example, I can't add more storage. I can't add more hard drive space, basically. And, the other thing is you want to make sure you keep your computer storage free. So you don't want to just junk up your computer with a whole bunch of stuff, files, things like that they're important, but you want to make sure you don't just junk it up. And so make sure you go and get yourself some external storage. And I really, really, really love these SanDisk portable SSD drives. I mean, these things are so small, Marco. Like, see if there's a photo there. I think there's a photo of like how small these things are. I mean, hard drives used to be this massive size. And now look at this. I mean, there's a lock. Let's see if there's a different photo, maybe. Hopefully there's another photo there, because people might not know what the size of the lock looks like.
There you go.
There we go. So this is next to a camera. And what's great about this is that, for starters, it's super, super, super fast storage. And it's portable. As you can see, like you can clip this to a keychain or things like that. I will say this, it may seem like a pricey thing. For example, $227 for like 2 terabytes of storage. However, you have to look at this. You're paying for an SSD drive. SSD, no moving parts, super fast storage, solid state, basically, meaning there's no moving parts. And so you want to make sure you go and check that out. That is a really, really, really good storage device. And it's 50% off, basically. So these are normally very expensive hard drives. So, in this case, it's portable. You can throw it in a bag. It's a red dot winner as well, by the way, in terms of the design. But I can't say enough about this kind of storage, because, while this one's $227, let's pull up that Lacy drive that we have there as well, Marco. And the reason I want to pull this up is because I want to kind of compare these two. So, for example, I could buy, twice the amount of storage for basically a third of the cost. And, this is a very good portable hard drive. This is actually the kind of hard drive that if you ever go to the Apple store, for example, to get your computer serviced, this is actually what Apple's using. They're using the Lacy rugged hard drives for, like, they usually put builds, laptop builds and things, they put operating system builds, on those laptops on the hard drive, so they can just plug it in and pull right off of it. But this is a really, really, really good, storage solution For those of you who need more storage, this one though, by the way, just a couple of notes here. This is only USB 3.0. So here's the trade-off. So most laptops today have what, Marco? What kind of port do they use?
Well, the standard was 2.0 and now it's 3.0.
3.0, and it's also USB-C usually.
Oh, yes, you're right.
And so for something like this, if I'm going to plug this into like a newer model computer, I'm going to need to then buy, an adapter or something like that to be able to use this. So you kind of have to look at the trade-offs here. So, first off, this is not an SSD drive. So it's got USB 3.0. It's a great deal. It gives me a lot of storage. However, it's not giving me, it's not giving me the SSD speed that you normally get for a hard drive. So I would highly recommend, if I were going to get a hard drive, a portable one, I would definitely check out that SanDisk 2 terabyte extreme drive. Yes, it seems like it's a little more expensive, but you get what you pay for. You get speed. It's not just reliability, but you get speed with it. You get portability, and you get an all around really, really, really good product there. So that's the SanDisk Extreme product. So is there anything else you want to add on that product on these, Marco? Or
well, I think one something it's truly important about this is having backups. I think computers are very exposed to accidents, to threats, to viruses and everything. And it's always important to have a backup. And these kind of devices are a very good way to have this backup. So, for instance, your computer has a problem. Oh my God, I lost all my data. I lost my vacation photographies, my video recordings and everything. And using this kind of device, and for instance, the SanDisk, as it is so portable, at the end of the day of your vacations, you can store the information there and then avoid these headaches when, oh my God, I lost all my data.
So definitely, no, I think you make some great points there. I mean, in terms of, making sure you're taking a backup of your hard drive. For example, if you get a Mac, for example, plug in a hard drive, they have a backup solution. If you are live streaming, by the way, just a pro tip here. If you are live streaming, turn off any sort of backup service, whether it's Dropbox, Google Drive, Amazon, Apple, Time Machine, for example. Turn off any of that stuff when you are live streaming, because, for starters, if your computer is not powerful enough, what's going to happen is your computer is going to freeze because it literally is taking a snapshot. That could interrupt your live stream. It could throw off your audio sync, things like that. So I'd highly recommend checking out, make sure you turn those things off. And then obviously, make sure you keep that hard drive clean, keep as much space on the physical laptop that you can, make it available. Don't just junk it up with stuff and then be like, well, hey, why is my live stream slow? Or why is it buffering? Or why am I dropping frames? Because your computer's out of memory. It's out of storage space. So it needs that stuff. Okay. So now a couple other things I want to highlight, by the way, for live streamers is that, the other thing, we mentioned this earlier. Let's bring up the Netgear Nighthawk. Actually, no, hold on. Let me see if the Eero is there, actually. Let's bring up the Amazon Eero 6 dual band mesh system. So, the other thing that's super important when you are a live streamer is you don't want to just use Wi-Fi. Yes, it's convenient, but you're going to get a better signal, better video quality if you are hardwired to the internet. And there's a couple of pieces here that we want to highlight here. So the first thing is, actually, let's do this, Marco. Let's start with that. So there's 2 of these in the carousel. There's a Netgear Nighthawk system. It's a fantastic setup for somebody who, wants to have really fast internet. So for example, you pay for internet, you want to make sure that you have, a router that can actually deliver for that. And so this is a fantastic Wi-Fi 6 enabled router. And so the way this one works, basically, it can cover up to 2,500 square feet. So, you also want to make sure, you may want to get 2 of these. This is a little more expensive product. So it's a $400 something router. Don't just use the Don't use the modem and the router that you get from like your ISP. Get your own. And you can always do it. You don't have to pay for. You don't have to actually keep the one they give you. They can actually help you use your own modem with their setup. So that way you ensure you're getting the best quality. But this is where I'd start. If you're like, well, hey, that's more expensive, that's a little bit out of my budget, I'd check out that Amazon Eero. Let's go over to that, Marco. So, this is the Amazon Eero, and this is, it is in stock, by the way. It's $181. It's normally $279, and this is a mesh network. And so the way a mesh network works is it basically goes over top of your router. So what a lot of people do is this: they would buy, they'd use their internet provider's router. They would then buy an access point and plug it into like a wall or things like that. Now, the problem with doing that, especially on Wi-Fi, on live streaming, is that when you use basically these access points, and you plug these into the wall, what's going to end up happening is it actually will cut your signal speed by half. So if you need a really high upload speed for your live streams, minimum 4 to 6 megabits per second, by the way, when you use a mesh network, this actually will, it's not going to degrade your signal as you're going from, point to point to point. You basically put these hubs that they have in your house. And so you have the one base station, and then you have all these different little hubs. Let's see if we can actually zoom in on that, Marco, and show people what this looks like. So basically you have one router, and then you have these hubs, and it's a mesh network, meaning it kind of goes over top of everything, and it uses those little hubs to communicate with one another without degrading the quality of your Wi-Fi, your signal, of your internet signal. So 100% recommend, using a mesh network over just using the standard router system that you often will get when you're setting up your ISP, your internet service provider. Is there anything else you want to add on this, Marco?
I think you nailed everything about this. And yes, it's very important because sometimes people, I don't know why my live stream doesn't go well. The image is choppy and something. So most of the times the problem is the internet, or they are too far from the router. The router is unstable. So I think it's really important to have in mind that internet speed, it's absolutely crucial to make a good live show.
Definitely. And I can't stress that enough. I mean, the problem is that, like you said, a lot of people, what they end up doing is they end up, they just use the ISP, like the internet, the modem they're given, the router they're given from their ISP. And, sometimes, like, here's the thing. I could have signed up for internet like 3 years ago or even longer, 5, 6 years ago. And the thing is, if you're still using that technology, you're not getting the maximum speed you could be getting. You're using old technology. And so, and that's why I mentioned it earlier. I mentioned the laptop, for example. Make sure you get a good quality laptop that has Wi-Fi 6. Well, if you get Wi-Fi 6, for example, in the laptop, and you connect it to your old router, your high performance laptop is not going to be able to perform as well because it needs that higher quality router, that has Wi-Fi 6 supported in it as well. So I'd recommend making sure that I get, if I'm getting a good laptop, make sure I also upgrade my internet, my router that I get, for example, whether it's buying your own or if it's even asking your ISP for, a faster one. That's definitely going to help you. And then the other thing I can't recommend enough, for those of you who are live streaming, and let's pull this up, Marco. It's going to be, it's so silly. I mean, it's Cat 6 Ethernet cable. And basically, for those who don't know, we recommend hardwiring in to your router. So you plug in to your router with an Ethernet cable. Marco is going to pull this up for us here. And, I think, is this on Prime? Is this a Prime deal or is this a coupon deal?
I think it's just a coupon.
$7.50. And then what's the coupon? You get an extra 10% off. So
yes.
That's 3 feet of cable, by the way. Let's go up to like 50 feet. How much is 50 feet? So there's a 50-foot option there. Let's see. So $23. So you're actually going to get for about $21, you're going to get 50 feet of Cat 6 Ethernet cable. And by the way, they also make these in different colors. So for example, there's black, there's, I think white is probably there. There's a black and white model. Yeah. So if you're like, well, hey, I don't want a black cable just running around my house or blue or something like that, get a cable that matches the trim in your house, and you can route this from your router to your laptop. And this is going to give you the most consistent and reliable internet connection. So I 100% recommend that people hardwire. And what do you think, Marco? Should they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even though your router and Wi-Fi could be powerful,
Yeah,
the wired connection, it's more stable and it doesn't have these spikes who may make your image sometimes a little choppy.
definitely. Yeah. And and here's the thing. The benefit here is that by hardwiring in, look at it like this. So if this is hardwired, so everything is one consistent speed going across. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if I'm using Wi-Fi, here's what the signal looks like. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's really good. It goes for a while. Oh, well, somebody gets on the internet, then it might drop, and then it might be really slow, and then it might go up and things like that. So you kind of have to, so that's really why you need to be hardwiring, because if you're live streaming, you're like, well, hey, I'm getting, my picture's going up and down, like the choppiness of the picture. When you're using Ethernet, it's a consistent signal that you're going to get. So you're not going to get, all the drops and drop packets and things like that. They're going to happen. Now, the other thing I also want to tell you about this, and this is where, if you're somebody who like you got to ask your internet service provider. So what some people do is, like, for example, some internet service providers, they'll say, hey, we'll give you, 500 megabits per second upload speed and download speed. But there's an asterisk next to the speed. And that's because why is that, Marco? Actually, why is that?
It's estimated. It's kind of maybe in the best scenario you will get this speed.
So it's that. And then the other thing also actually is that, what they'll also do is if you're hardwiring, they will give you that speed. If you're using Wi-Fi, it may be, granted 500 is a lot. It
Yes.
could, let's just say it's 200. Sometimes it's 200 megabits per second. And that's if you're hardwired. However, if you're using, for example, Wi-Fi, it may be only 100 or even
Absolutely.
less. And so
Yes.
you do have to read through your ISP to see what speeds they're going to actually give you based on if you're using wireless or versus hardwiring. And by the way, for those of you who are like, well, hey, my computer doesn't have, an Ethernet port on it, guess what? They make adapters. They make dongles
Yes.
that can take care of this. So basically, if you get a dongle, it's going to allow you to plug in, basically going to allow you to add an Ethernet port to your computer if you don't have it.
Absolutely.
Okay, Marco, I know we got a couple of last items we want to talk about real quick, right? By the way, for those of you watching, if you like this, we do these every week. Make sure you go and follow the channel.
Yeah.
But Marco, what I want to highlight a couple other items real quick. And as I mentioned, these are somewhat accessories, right? So let's highlight some of those Amazon products that we've got there.
Let's do that.
So we got, let's see, let me just find out what we got here. So we got a couple of different Amazon products. By the way, as I mentioned, a lot of this stuff just sells out super quickly. I mean,
yeah, run.
I want to highlight three things. So let's start with the Amazon products, and then we're going to end with the magnetic battery, actually. So let's start with the Amazon products. So let's start with that Fire Stick. So for those of you who want to, let me actually pull this up for you guys. So for those of you the Echo Dot, actually, let's pull up the Echo Dot. So for those of you who want to, you want to get more out of your live streams, for example, I always like to have a companion around. And sometimes we're fortunate to be able to have, an assistant, for example, or a VA. However, you've got one right here in Amazon as well with the Amazon Echo Dot. And, again, and this, by the way, is still available. It's $20. Amazon's got some great prices, by the way, on these. $20. It's 50% off, basically. So it's normally $39.99. And this is the Amazon Echo Dot. And it's not just a smart speaker, but it can also, help you with a to-do list. For example, let's say you're out doing stuff and you want to, by the way, got a lot of good comments from people by the SEO video show. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you haven't yet followed us on Amazon, make sure you do that. But for those of you who want to, essentially get a VA for less, for $20, you can get yourself an Amazon Echo Dot. What could somebody do with this, Marco?
Well, to be honest, I'm not a specialist on this. Okay. But I see one of the things I've seen some people doing with this is controlling the lightning
Yeah,
during the live shows.
Yeah,
So this could be a nice option, and also to lower the volume of the background music or high rising. So I think it's a very useful device.
yeah, and most of these products, most of the Amazon Echo products, by the way, they also have functionality built into where they can tie into other services. So they can tie into hooks basically into other services, and the benefit to those hooks is that they will allow you to be able to accomplish additional tasks. So, for example, if I'm like, well, hey, I want to start my live stream, for example, I could have a process, a macro set up. And, if I've got one of the Amazon Echo products, I basically have it connected to the service. And then that service will run that list of things. So it could be like, let's just not say the name here, but let's just say it's the Amazon Echo. Let's just say that, and so I could say, run my live streaming process or start my live stream show. And it can then kick off all those different things. So, for example, as Marco mentioned, like you can use it to control your home, whether it's adjusting the lighting or, for example, starting that process of whatever that process is for your live stream. So it's taking out a couple of steps here and there for you when you're live streaming. So it's saving you a lot of time. Now, for those of you, by the way, so there's that product. And then the other product I want to highlight real quick on here, Marco, is the, let me find it quick, actually. So let's highlight the Fire TV stick. This is the 4K Fire TV stick. So for those of you interested in live streaming, and you gotta think beyond the laptop. A lot of people, are thinking, well, hey, I'm just going to live stream from my phone, or I'm going to live stream to my computer, for example. So, Marco, can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the Fire TV stick?
Just wait a little bit because it froze. Okay. I think now it's okay.
So I think Marco needs to take advantage of some of these Black Fridays. I think Marco needs to take advantage of some of these Prime Day deals.
Yes, I do.
Laptop. So let's do this. Let's pull up the Fire
there
stick.
You go.
So, for those of you who want to tap into moving beyond the laptop, moving beyond the mobile device, check out Amazon TV Fire Stick. This is the 4K device. It's got the whole, you can use it to watch other services. Like you can watch ESPN, you can watch Prime Video, HBO, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, all that sort of stuff. But where this thing really shines for live streaming is that you can create essentially your own TV channel. And so basically, instead of just broadcasting out, for example, to your social platforms and places like that, you can use the Amazon Fire TV stick and get your live stream on the big screen. So I love this. I mean, I can't stress this enough, and this is actually, it's 50% off. So these are normally $50. So you could get one of these for $25. By the way, remember that $60 savings we were talking about you're doing earlier? You could take that $60 savings and get a Fire TV stick. Now your live stream is out on the big screen. Hey, you want to get you want to improve your background. Get yourself that green screen backdrop, for example. So this is a Fire TV stick. You basically get one of these. You can then plug it into your TV, and this is a great way for you to test your live streams and get them out on the big screen. So you have this to test versus, oh, I'm just going to push it out and hope that it works. So as I mentioned, this is available on Amazon. It's $25. Well worth checking out. Okay, Marco. So I want to pull up one last product here, and this is for those of you who want to be portable, you want to be mobile. Let's pull up the iWalk magnetic wireless battery. For those of you who are doing live streams and you want to always be charged, how many, I mean, I don't know about you, Marco, but how many of you, like, you got one of those big batteries, for example, hold on one second. Let me actually grab this real quick. I'll let you introduce this product while I actually show this. So for those of you who want to, you find yourself doing this, like, I got this massive battery. By the way, this is 30,000 milliamps, big battery. Look at this thing. I mean, it's heavy, but hey, guess what? I can charge like a phone and I think a laptop and just all sorts of things with this thing, right? Super, super, super heavy. I mean, you can just see how heavy this is. So, if I wanted to then like carry this with my smartphone, then I'd have to do this. Like, here, let me show you guys how big this is. So this is what this looks like. I mean, I've got this huge battery that's literally the size of my phone. And if I want to carry all this stuff together, I got to carry all this. And oh yeah, I forgot I got to plug a cable in there as well, right? In order to make this like, to charge this, right? So the downside of that is, well, it's not convenient. And so that is one great thing about, what's really been coming out. If I'm live streaming, I want to use my phone. I want to make sure I check this out. This is the Snap & Go magnetic charging battery. It's got a 6,000 milliamp battery. This is, by the way, also available on Amazon Prime Day. It's $27, by the way. And I want to show you. So it's got a couple things. So for starters, it's got what Marco shows there. It's got, it attaches to your phone via a magnet. And there's also one of those little rings on the back as well. So you can easily, hold on to this, hold on to your phone, for example. So it's a very strong magnet. And I want to show you guys this. So this is essentially what this looks like. Let me actually show you guys this. So for example, for those of you not familiar with the whole magnet process here, let me actually put myself on screen here. So here you go. You've got the phone that has the magnet, and this is, for example, this is an Anchor, magnetic pad. And essentially I can just do this. And as you can see there, it's now attached to the back of my phone. And then this way I can charge my phone basically wirelessly, by sitting on top of this pad. Now, this battery that I'm showing here also works very similarly in the fact that, if I've got this battery here, for example, it's being held on by magnets and it's charging my phone wirelessly. So, it's not going to give you, here's the thing, it's not going to give you the fastest charge, but it does, it's a whole lot less bulk. I mean, it's 6,000 milliamps. It literally just is a magnet on the back of your phone. And then the benefit to that is that, you don't have to then carry a cable and a battery, for example. You can just, attach this to your phone. It's got a nice little stand, as Marco showed there as well. And it works with quite a number of phones, but that is the magnetic wireless power bank. So if those of you want something really cool and new, check out that. Okay, Marco, is there anything else you want to highlight, by the way? I mean, we've covered quite a bit of stuff today, right?
Yes. Let me see what we have in the carousel.
What's your favorite thing? How about this? What's your favorite thing off of like what we've talked about today? I mean, when we're talking about the best live streaming deals on Prime Day for live streamers, if you were going to get, let's just say 2 items today, what would you get?
Well, the gimbal I used yesterday.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, if you want to go live outside, and yesterday it was funny. It's connected with the device you're talking about, because
yeah,
I have this gimbal and my cell phone went out of battery. Okay, and because of the gimbal, it covers the place where you should plug the charger. I couldn't use the charge the cell phone while I was using the gimbal. So I made half of the way with the gimbal and the other half with carrying the cell phone by the hand. And it was clear the difference of the stabilization of the image you get when you use a gimbal and when you use your hand. Or for instance, the other day I used the selfie stick and it's quite different. And I think there's a deal as well.
What gimbal do you recommend? Yeah, is there
I think the Zhiyun Smooth 4.
Okay, it's like $99. Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay, so I just added that to the carousel. We'll highlight that real quick here to show you guys this. So this is something Marco recommends. He likes to have this because, here's the thing. If you are going to be live streaming, and by the way, feel free to bring that up real quick. We'll talk about that real quick. So if you are going to be live streaming and you're not going to be in an office or a physical set where things are stationary, they're not going to change, you're going to want to make sure you get something like this for your live streams. This is the Zhiyun Smooth 4 gimbal. And basically what's going to do is you're going to put your phone in this thing and then it's going to automatically move as you are moving. So for example, if I if I want to walk, for example, like instead of for example, here, let me show you this. Instead of walking and like, okay, I'm walking and there's a little shakiness to the camera,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's going to be adjusting for that based on your movement.
Absolutely. And it has different modes of moving. Okay. For instance, I was doing a walk on the beach and it was the sunset, and then I put the gimbal pointing to the sea and seeing the sun setting, and I walked for I don't know, maybe half of a mile with just holding the gimbal, and it was there still looking at the sunset, and with a very stable image. And with this one you can make amazing effects. Also, it comes with a app. And with some devices you can go live from the Zihun app. So this is, for me, it's a very good deal, and it's a very good device, mostly if you want to go live from outside or record video as well.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So, okay. So that's your pick. Okay. So is there a second item you would get out of the carousel? If somebody wanted to immediately make an impact on their live streams and leverage Amazon Prime Day, what would you get?
Well, I don't think I see the microphone I'm willing to buy on the deal, but it should be the Shure MV7.
Is that on a deal or no?
I think it's in a deal, but not a Prime Day deal.
Okay. I think it's just a regular,
Yeah, it's a regular deal, but we should have in mind also those customers who are not Prime customers.
Yeah. You do have to think about that. Yeah. I mean, I actually, the mic you're talking about, I don't think it's on sale. So if I were to pick 2 items from the carousel to get today, by the way, I'd love to see, like, I want to make sure you are improving your live streams. And again, you don't have to get everything all at once, but some of these deals are pretty amazing. I think if I were going to get a couple of things. So one of the things I always hear from people is they always talk about not having enough real estate screen. So what I mean by that is like not having enough space on their desk. I would personally get the 15-inch portable monitor, and it's $120. And here's the reason why. So for example, a lot of times you don't necessarily need like tons of space. You just need additional, a way to extend the desktop, for example, that you currently have. So I'd recommend getting something like that. That I think is where I'd start. And then the second item, if I had to get something, I hear from just time and time again, I hear people talking about camera switchers. They want to get a camera switcher. They want to have multiple cameras. Remember, by the way, camera switchers, webcams do not work with camera switchers. And that's because the camera switchers are using HDMI and your standard webcam is using USB, and USB does not get converted to HDMI. So I would strongly recommend, I think that Feel World Live Pro multi-camera video switcher is a great product for the money. It's $239. It's normally $299. So you're saving quite a bit. So you're saving about 60 something dollars. It's a great product to start with because, for example, there are more expensive camera switchers. There's ones that are, $600, $800, $1,200 on up. And so this can do the work of, a lot of that. So it's a very good product. And then if I had to give a third product, I think I would actually recommend, we talk about audio, and my third product is going to be the Elgato Wavelink 3. Personally, I do prefer an XLR microphone. However, this is a very good deal and it's hard to pass this up. I mean, $150. It's a microphone that I could take with me. For example, it's going to give me a good quality audio, which audio is the most important part of your live streams. It's not the video quality. It's not the fact that you have multiple cameras. It is the fact that you have good audio. And obviously, make sure you go and upgrade your internet. But anything else you want to add, Marco, on this? I mean, I want to just encourage everybody who's tuning in, take advantage of these deals. I mean, as you can see, a lot of them were actually selling out while we're actually doing the live stream.
Okay, I think I would talk about also the earphones.
Yeah, you get some
earphones, because there's this struggle. Lots of times we see live streaming, and mostly when there's more than one people on the screen, and suddenly a feedback it's coming to the to the sound, to the
Yeah.
speakers, and so avoid that. Use earplugs, headphones, wherever, but don't use the speakers, because the sound comes from the speaker, gets into the microphone, and this will create this annoying loop sound, and it will ruin the content in that moment. And for instance, if you had in mind to repurpose the content with this problem, forget it.
No, excellent point. Yeah. And again, I mean, we're not highlighting like you don't need the most expensive products. We're highlighting ones that are actually available on Amazon Prime Day that are fantastic deals for you as a live streamer. So again, I mean, if you want to upgrade your studio, I think the key thing is, start with the audio. Let's look at the audio. If you, for example, are using the built-in microphone, or you've had a microphone for a while and you want something new, check out the ones that we put here in the carousel, that Elgato Wavelength 3. The Blue Yeti, for example, is a pretty decent, USB mic as well. I would get the Elgato, by the way, over the Blue Yeti in that case. If you're somebody who, you've been wanting to add camera switching, for example, to your live streams, again, check out that Feel World Live Pro. Those normally don't go on sale for that much off. So, you may get $10 off sometimes, but this is like $60. And then I think the other thing also for me that is, just super important is going back to the laptop, is to make sure you get a laptop that can support your live streams. Again, I mean, there's lots and lots and lots of options out there. Personally, I like that Asus ROG actually that they had. It's $1,700 for a laptop, but it's a gaming laptop, by the way. So it's got plenty of storage, got fast hard drive. It's got a lot of RAM. It's got a fantastic display. It's got a dedicated video card. So your live streams are actually going to look really, really, really good. And obviously it can take advantage of that Wi-Fi 6. But with that, I want to thank you for joining Marco and I for what is essentially the best live streaming deals on Amazon Prime Day. For those of you, watching for those of you listening, and you want to actually check out some of the items that we talked about during Amazon Prime Day, when we're talking about the best live streaming deals, just go to launcher.live/EP74. That basically will bring you right back to our Amazon Live video. But with that, I want to just, encourage you again, if you see something on Amazon on Prime Day, we try to highlight the best items, the items that are going to save you a lot of money, but the items that are also going to help level up and create a more professional live stream. Make sure you snatch those up, so you don't miss out, because these are some great deals. But with that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will see you all on a future episode. Isn't that right, Marco?
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
We will be back.
We will, yes. So again, make sure you take advantage of those deals. Again, they're going to be, the stock's going to be diminishing. There's a lot of really good stuff there to help you create a more professional live stream. But with that, I want to thank you for listening and for watching. Happy live stream, everyone. Bye.